The M&S cyberattack. When competitors profit from chaos, retail giant Marks & Spencer was hit by a major cyberattack earlier in 2025. But what makes this story remarkable isn't just the breach itself. It's how the fallout handed free profits to a rival. While Marks & Spencer struggled to recover, competitor Next raised its profit guidance for the fourth time in a single year. The company now expects pre-tax profits of over £1.1 billion and directly credits that boost to what it politely called competitor disruption. That disruption refers to the April 2025 cyberattack that crippled M&S. The retailer had to suspend online orders and pause click-and-collect services. It wasn't until June, more than 2 months later, that they managed to restore home delivery for fashion products. By that time, the estimated revenue loss had already reached $400 million. In retail, 2 months is an eternity. Customers do not wait, they migrate. Consumer expert Kate Hardcastle told the BBC that Next simply picked up the benefit of displaced shoppers. She said, "Some of the success this year has certainly come from Marks & Spencer's very challenged times with its cyber attack." So this wasn't just a glitch in a website, it was a fundamental disruption of business continuity, one that cost M&S both money and momentum. Systemic vulnerability and the confidence gap. The M&S incident has become a textbook example of a systemic vulnerability, the kind that hides in plain sight. According to new research from commercial insurer NFU Mutual, roughly 3 in every 5 retailers, that's 63%, have been hit by cybercrime. Even more worrying, 16% of retailers were targeted within the past 12 months alone. And the issue isn't confined to big corporations. 1 in 3 small businesses has experienced some form of cyber attack. Yet despite 17% of business owners listing cyber risk among their top threats, more than 1 in 7 admit they've taken no specific action to protect themselves. James Trevis, a cyber specialist at NFU Mutual, put it bluntly: small businesses are increasingly reliant on digital tools but often lack the resources to defend against cybercrime. This makes them prime targets. Meanwhile, the latest State of Information Security report from tech firm IO reveals a startling confidence gap. 97% of cybersecurity leaders in the UK and the United States say they're confident in their breach response, yet 61% have suffered a third-party or supply chain attack in the past year. The M&S breach exposed what that overconfidence can cost: temporary system outages, operational disruption, and maybe worst of all, customer churn and loss of trust. Chris Newton-Smith, the CEO of IO, formerly ISMS Online, warned that too many companies underestimate how complex modern supply networks have become. He said, "Confidence needs to be matched by continuous action to avoid the domino effect across networks, impacting customer trust, finances, and operations." Rethinking the cost of a breach. The M&S Next story forces a rethink of how we calculate the cost of a cyber attack. It's no longer just about fines, data loss, or remediation costs. The real damage comes from what might be called competitive displacement. Every week that M&S stayed offline, Next grew stronger, gaining customers who might never return. To capture that full picture, a new risk model has to include the long-term revenue gap, the cost of winning back customers who have already become loyal to your rival, plus the brand equity you lose when your competitor capitalizes on your downtime. The 2025 lesson is clear. Vulnerability is no longer an abstract IT problem, it's a strategic blind spot. The IO report showed that while 97% of leaders are very confident in their breach response, 61% were breached anyway, usually through their supply chain. That disconnect between perception and reality is the exact gap competitors exploit. NFU Mutual's James Trevis summed it up perfectly. Action on cyber risk is not a luxury, it's essential. And Chris Newton-Smith added, to close the confidence gap, leaders must focus on people and process building a culture of security and resilience across the entire chain to avoid weak links. Dublin Airport data breach, millions at risk. Let's move to Ireland, where another major cyber incident unfolded in August 2025. Collins Aerospace, a key supplier for both Dublin and Cork airports, confirmed a data breach that might involve the passenger details of millions of people who flew during that month. The DAA, that's the Dublin Airport Authority, told the Irish Times that a cybercriminal group had published boarding pass data online. The exposed information came from Collins Aerospace Systems, not from the airport itself. While the DAA reassured passengers that there's no need for immediate action, anyone affected could still face risks of identity theft or fraud. Passengers are being urged to keep a close eye on their accounts for suspicious activity. The Swedish airline SAS also sent warning emails to travelers who flew to Dublin or Cork in August 2025. The message explained that affected files included booking references, first and last names, and frequent flyer numbers. Based on that data, other details like contact information and travel itineraries might have been accessed and could potentially be leaked to the public. So far, there's no evidence that DAA's own systems were compromised, and flights continue as normal. Still, This breach joins a growing list of incidents tracing back to third-party suppliers. In fact, recent studies suggest that roughly 1/3 of all cyberattacks now involve vendors or external platforms. That's the new frontier of cybersecurity, not just defending your own walls but also those of your partners. Proton's Dark Web Observatory. Cybersecurity company Proton has launched a new initiative called the Data Breach Observatory. It's designed to shine a light on the dark web, quite literally, by detecting and reporting cyber attacks and leaked data in real time. Unlike traditional systems that depend on companies voluntarily disclosing breaches, Proton's platform gathers verified evidence directly from criminal marketplaces and leak sites. It intentionally excludes recycled datasets and focuses only on data tied to specific organizations. That means the alerts are fresh, accurate, and highly relevant. According to Proton's research, small and medium-sized businesses, those with 10 to 49 employees, and those with 50 to 249, made up almost half of all recorded breaches. Companies with fewer than 10 employees accounted for another 23%. In terms of sectors, retail and wholesale topped the list at just over 1/4, 25.4%, followed by technology at 15%, and media and entertainment at 11%. The exposed data often included email addresses, appearing in every single case, names in 90% of them, contact details like phone numbers and addresses in 72%, passwords in nearly half, 49%, and government or health records in about 1/3, 34%. Eamon Maguire, Proton's Director of Engineering for Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, said the goal is simple: to reveal unseen breaches and alert affected organizations as soon as possible. By doing this, Proton hopes to help companies prevent identity theft, reduce financial losses, and limit the overall impact of future incidents. Already, over 300 million individual records have surfaced on the dark web this year alone. Proof that timely detection isn't optional anymore. Continuous monitoring and the leak at reputation.com. Proton developed the observatory together with Constellar Intelligence. The platform continuously tracks dark web forums and leak sites, providing actionable intelligence to help organizations respond faster and strengthen cyber resilience. And while Proton aims to protect others, another company found itself exposed: reputation.com. On August 18, 2025, researchers from Cybernews discovered a misconfigured server belonging to reputation.com, a major online reputation management and customer experience platform. The server was left open without authentication, exposing roughly 120 million internal logs, about 320 gigabytes of data. Those logs contain sensitive information like timestamps, unique company identifiers, session IDs, and even cookie strings that could grant access to customer accounts. In the wrong hands, attackers could hijack brand social media dashboards, post fake content, or harvest marketing data. Cybernews warned that this could seriously affect major brands, including Ford, General Motors, US Bank, and several BMW dealerships. Each log contains standard database events such as create, read, update, and delete, many with millions of entries. The dataset effectively documented every digital move inside the system. Attempts to notify reputation.com went unanswered, and at the time of reporting, the data was still publicly accessible. The company has not yet commented.
This breach serves as yet another warning about the dangers of misconfigured cloud systems. When security teams forget the basics, access control, encryption, continuous monitoring, even the biggest corporations can accidentally hand attackers the keys to their kingdoms.